Hello, mate. Welcome to this edition of my soccer channel, Soccer Cherfino. Today, we're gonna take you through the review of Brentford 2, Chelsea 2. I would take that. That was a 2 point drop, and but I'm glad we still retain that invisibility. We've not lost in 13 games going back to last season. So I love the way the guys fought back. But man, I just take it. It's not easy. The we just have to be human. That's what I believe. I know many Chelsea fans are not kind of happy with the lineup. They think Maresca fitted a weaker side. We can kind of understand. But like I said earlier, we just have to be human. We have to understand that these players, they went to the Club World Cup last season. From there, they hardly had preseason. Then they came back from holiday just to start this new season. And this new season, they are competing on all fronts, till next year again. So at one point or the other, they need to be given break, and there was no better match to give them break. We also have to consider the fact that the games are coming in thick right now. Or we're having Bayern on Wednesday and Manchester United on Saturday. So I understand the fact that Maresca gives some people the time off just to maybe recuperating from injuries, someone like Kopama, or just give some people 45 minutes for match fitness and some to relax them some in cases of Kukurea. But I must commend Enzo and Casido despite coming back from the international from South American league. They still had to play the whole 90 minutes, and this is what I'm saying. So at one point or the other, he had to rest some guys, and I would have expected Gusto, but because of his height, and we also predicted this in the preview that Brentford, that's their ball, that's how they play, that's their style, long balls, set pieces. So I was expecting someone, but all in all, it was a good setup, but there was so much newbies in the team, Hato, Benanote, Gittins. Oh, to me, I've not really seen the importance of Gittins. I understand if you sell Madueke, but Gittins, it's just buying Gittins is like, it's just someone who is very fast when there's nobody in front of him. But when there's somebody in front of him, he just keeps the well, never can tell. It's too early. It might come good. That's how we got Cole Palmer. Had my dad about Cole Palmer, and now Pretty Boy is doing pretty things. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Then this Chelsea defender, you know what? I did TikTok video like 3 hours ago. I didn't remember the guy's name. I'm doing a YouTube video now. I don't even remember the guy's name, and it's been Chelsea for 3 seasons. But much part of that has been on the injury list. So we bought him 80 million from Leicester. French guy, tall. He had a blondie. No, I don't even remember his name. As I'm doing this video. I don't want to remember his name. If you play good, if you stay fit, I'm gonna remember your name. So I won't check Google for that. I won't waste my time. I don't want to remember his name. So yeah, there's so much input in the team, and that was against the, when you have uh every team has a backbone. You have some key positions, and those positions are instrumental to the way you play. We couldn't have that because those guys they've not created their niche with the team. It took Casido and Enzo a lot of time to create that kind of chemistry in the middle with other players. So this guy came in newly, and they couldn't do much. So I wouldn't blame them. Obviously, we're not going to win the league. I've never rooted for us to win the league this season. We have. I think Liverpool will still clinch it. Then Arsenal also have the chance to be second. Then Chelsea maybe third or fourth. Uh, why I think we can't win it? We can't. Why do we win it? We only signed Joao Pedro as the only experienced player, experienced per se, last season. Every other guy is just a prospect that could turn good or bad. They're not ready made compared to the players Liverpool are buying, the vets, Ekitike, Isaac. These are guys that could win you games individually, and they are ready. I believe Liverpool will clinch the league. And Arsenal also, you could say, last year they got Moreno, this season Zubimendi. Those players they are getting, they are ready-made guys and they are ready to go. We still need like maybe 3 4 years in the pipeline before we could get to that stage. So I don't think we could win cup competitions, which is easier because it's knockout phase. But the league going to 8 games, you need some character, you need some individual brilliance, you need some luck, to win the league. So I don't think we can win the league. Eventually, if we get our place in the top four, I'll be okay with that. So before the lineup, Windland was not available, which is kind of a concern. I just pray it's not something serious because the boy is ready to play. He's been playing the South American League, so what do you expect? It's tough for the EPL. It's technical like the EPL, so I don't expect him to have issues. I want him back. I just want us to have more options. Then the first half, if the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? From the lineup, you could see those guys were trying to play, but they couldn't gel, and we couldn't dominate. Brentford were playing their game, and it was just a matter of time before the first goal. And the first goal, this Leicester guy we bought, and I felt he didn't track back enough for the goal. You could see he was laboring to run back. Tosin had everything covered up. The guy was just laboring to come back, jogging. He couldn't go on a sprint, and that's very concerning. But it's expected with the spate of injuries. He's had over the past 2 seasons. That was expected. He was faster, so probably as the guy was cutting to his right, he could have blocked or kind of take the guy off the edge a little bit, but it was slow, and that was the first goal. And you can see Tosin was furious. I won't blame the goalkeeper there. It was a deflection, so I won't blame him. Then we finished the first half strongly. Then the second half, half time, 3 subs. That's unlike Maresca, so that should tell you he knew something was wrong. Unlike Maresca, we had 3 subs coming in: James, the Penguin boy, and Little Bukayo. Those three came in, and the game changed a little bit until Pretty Boy came in. Then Pretty Boy came in in 60 something minutes. You could just see the aura, everything changed, everything was blending, and like the Bible says, lines were falling in pleasant places, and boom, Pretty Boy came in. Pretty Boy did what Pretty Boy used to do, and Pretty Boy got a pretty goal at the pretty hour. And this chant of he hasn't scored an open goal in the EPL since January, since February, and now you trash now because Pretty Boy did his things. What a wonderful goal, but he did it in a casual way. He was like just rolling the ball into the net. Donnarumma, Donna Kebab will remember. He will remember that. He didn't have to place his shot, but it was very clever because he used the Brentford defender as a shield. So the keeper was even rooted. No, there was nothing he could do. And boom, 1-1. And then from then it was a matter of okay, when is Chelsea going to get the second goal? And Pretty Boy missed 2 pretty chances as well. Especially the cutback from Neto. I was like, wow. Did the ball actually fall on his left? Because I had to know that had to be his right. But I had to watch the replay, and it was on his left leg. Pretty Boy, why did he have to miss that? That was kind of unusual about Cole Palmer, Pretty Boy. But we can still understand now that after all, Cole Palmer is human. He's not AI. He's not a machine. So then came in Ganacho, and Ganacho also had his cut back, which Pretty Boy, balloon to the hair. No, I think that was after the second goal. No, that was after the 2-2. That was after 2-2, yeah. Then Chelsea were dominating. We were going for the kill, and I love the fighting spirit of those guys. I love it. They understood the assignment. They are world champions. They have to play like world champions. If they didn't fall to PSG, why would they fall to Brentford? Then they played, and Ganacho came in. I'm glad to see his cameo. Up until this. He allowed that Brentford equalizer. I also watched Ganacho on YouTube. I'm kind of impressed with what I've seen. This guy's. I'm impressed with what I've seen. So far about him, and that even justified. Then that could be how would I put it? that could be seen from the goal he gave to Caicedo. He had to pull it back. He drove everybody forward, then he pulled the ball back, and boom, Caicedo, very hard ball hit it, and that was a goal. And wow, I really loved it because very hard ball is giving us the Rodri vibe. What Rodri used to be for Man City. That's what Caicedo is giving us. No, he has not really been when we bought him. Goal wasn't part of his game, but this season he's been adding goals. He has already added 2 goals, which were not. I think which were his total for the last 2 seasons as well. So big ups to very hard boy Casido. Then the boom, the second goal. Then we're like, wow, that's it. We've won it. That was an editor. We've won it. Then somewhere along the line, the equalizer came, which was very painful. But man, we will take it, man. Oh, it was very painful. Long throws again, and I will slightly blame Ganacho. But those things, what do you expect? Those guys are tall. They are well built more than us. They could only use it to their advantage. 2-2, disappointed, but I will take it. I understand the situation. The season is still very far. You can't run down your players at just the fourth game of the season. They have to good kudos as well to Sanchez. I think he's been pretty decent from the end of last season up to now. He also said like 2 or 3 balls. That was a ball he had to crawl to save. Onana, that would have been a goal. That was a deflected ball he also had to save. So he's been Sanchez. So far so good. The centre back as well. I think they did what they had to do. Chalobah has been one of the best rated centre back in the EPL from this season. They did well, and Casedo and Enzo for coming back late and still have to give that kind of performance. I love it. Ganacho, more to come, more to come. I believe it's going to turn good. The only concern I have is about Andre Santos. When uh, Guardiola reincarnation. That's Maresca. When you wanted to start players and wanted to pay some players, I would have expected Santos to start. This guy has been there. He has played the last 3 games, even though as sub. So it's kind of having the EPF vibe. So I expected him to start the game, but he didn't start. He didn't even come in. No, if I need goals, if I need to dominate games, if I need to win tackles, I will start the guy because this guy can score screamers, belter. He doesn't have to get into the box. So I would have expected him to come on, around that 85th minute or around that around the time Palmer was coming in, but no, the coach knows better. But he just has to keep his fingers crossed. This season is going to be a breakout season for Andre Santos. I believe that because Sugo injured, Lavia will never stay fit, and he can play both Enzo's role and Casado's role, so that gives a big plus to him. You just have to stay grinded, keep working. Your time will come. Very soon, your time will come. I could even see a player that I might prefer more than Enzo. Yeah, you can bookmark this this video, because I've seen a guy and I really like what I see about the guy. So obrigado, thank you guys, Messi, Soccer Cherafino. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, like my videos. Peace out, guys. Kid Miliforcha.